Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up! I made this beautiful card with products from Stampin' Up! I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. You'll also find links for all the products that I used. You can just click those links to be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm using Gallery Blooms and the Gallery Blooms dies. I'm also using Traditional Labels dies. This is from the September to December mini catalog. I'm using Simply Said, and I'm using the Glass and Gardens embossing folders. My inks are Gray Granite, Petunia Pop, and I'm also using the Shy Shamrock, the Peach Pie, just for the flower centers, and the Petunia Pop. I really need to find the other Petunia Pop. My cardstock is Petunia Pop. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, basic card base, and we're turning it this way. I've already cut some basic white with this lovely label, and this one, I don't know if you spotted it, but it's actually got these long kind of borders that are separated, so you could actually weave some cardstock through those borders if you wanted. I'm using a piece of Gray Granite that's 5 1/4 by 4, and a piece of this Irresistibly Yours. There it goes. You can just see it. It's much easier to see when you've colored the cardstock in. It's got the shiny part is got some sort of coating on it so that the ink doesn't really stick well to that. It comes in 3 patterns. This plaid, and these leaves. I hope you can see those. Looks like it, you can. And then these flowers that I'm using today. And I'm going to start with coloring this. You can color it a lot of different ways. I am using a blending brush, which I think is probably the best thing for this. So I'm just using the Petunia Pop. And you can color, and I've got just a piece of scratch paper underneath it. And if you go off to the side and then bring it in, and you can do it light or dark, whatever you want. I went pretty dark on this card. Let me see about doing it lighter on this one. And as you can see, the center of it's kind of covered up with my label. And we'll go with that and see what that looks like. I also have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white for the inside, and a piece of basic white for stamping the flowers here. I'm going to do some stamping with the Gray Granite. There are a lot of greetings that you could use with this card, and I'm just using birthday wishes because it seems like I always need birthday cards. And then that floral corner from Gallery Blooms. And I'm just stamping it here on this piece. There's really probably enough room to do 2 of them here. So pretty. And 1 for the inside. And you can always stamp your envelope somewhere, maybe on this corner or maybe on the flap. Let me stamp the flap and see what that looks like. course, you could color these in if you choose. If you do decide to color it in on the envelope, it will go through onto the back, I promise you. So we're going to go ahead and just put this on the inside. I often use the liquid, multi-purpose liquid glue because it gives you a little bit of wiggle before it's fully dry, and it dries nice and firm and permanently. And then we'll color. Let me find the light shamrock. I'm just coloring the leaves. And if you have little bits of white, that's totally fine. Sometimes it's even preferable, I think. And if you want to go in and color it in a little bit more with the dark, you can. I'm kind of going where, you see how this side of the leaf has more lines than the other? So I'm kind of coloring the one with the more lines. And then the light petunia pop. And these flowers are really pretty quick to color in. Whenever you're using the stamping blends, you do not want to press hard. If you're pressing hard to get enough color, it probably means you need to buy new markers. If you press hard, you will only damage this brush end. It's not really a brush, it's more like a felt tip. And if you press, it'll break that down and it won't color very well for you after that. And I think it probably also has more surface area for it to dry out. And again, I'm just kind of following these lines, get a little bit of depth and texture to these petals. Like this petal is going behind, so I probably want to color that one extra. This one goes behind. And I think I'm going to go dark with the flower centers. And this again is the dark peach pie. Yeah, dark peach pie. It does dry a little bit lighter as, and also Stampin' Up! Always says to use the Memento ink. The Memento ink is a water-based stamp pad, but our regular colors are also water-based, and so I think that they work just fine for using the stamping blends. I'm using the big machine because I'm going to be embossing this gray granite piece, and this is too large for the mini one. I am embossing, so I'm taking out the number 2 plate. That one's for die cutting. And these embossing folders are the thinner ones. These are the standard, not the 3D. And so I need to use 2 clear plates. So I'm going to put one down. And then I'm going to put my cardstock in here. I want the Stampin' Up! Logo facing up. And you can decide where on here. We're only embossing half of this. So you can decide where on here you're going to emboss. Typically you want to put the folded side in first, and you could. If it's too wide, you can always turn it this way. So then I'm going to cover it with the second number 3 plate. Popping is normal, don't worry. I just love embossing. But we are also going to die cut that flower. So we will bring this back in, and I will take the more cut up plates, not really cut up yet, but put that in there. And our flower and the die. And if you do not feel confident that it will stay put, you can use a little bit of tape. So I'm going to put it over and just drop it down. So if I put this end and push it down and then drop this down straight on top of it, it usually doesn't move. But before you go through, make sure it is still where you put it. And you've got this lovely piece. And again, we already have the inside in. So we'll put the gray granite on top. You do not need a lot of this glue. Set that on top. This cardstock doesn't, this Irresistibly Yours paper doesn't really have a strong top and bottom. I think I'm going to put it in this way. And then we'll just put some Stampin' Dimensionals on our label and our flowers. And you might want to look before you take the backings off. Of course, I already took mine off. I didn't really center the label. I went a little bit to the right because I need room for those flowers. So see where you want to put them. And I am covering up just the edge of that. And that's it. Here is the web address where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. I also offer lots of resources on my website. Click Shop to see the online exclusives, clearance items, my frequent shopper points, and the products I offer to make crafting more convenient. That includes a cardstock sampler for all the current Stampin' Up! Cardstock and samplers for the Stampin' Up! Cardstock going all the way back to 1997. Click Inspiration to scroll my projects. You'll find the directions and images all the way back to 2011. You may also want to check out the Basics button where I share about stamps, ink, and paper, card cutting bases and layers, and some of my favorite tools. Click Getting Organized to find lots of free resources like case inserts, labels for just about every product, catalog tabs, color tools, and much more. More organization means more time for crafting. Click Evernote Current Products to learn how you can share my Evernote notebooks. The Current Products Notebook allows you to search every item by name, number, type of product like stamps, designer series paper, tools, themes like birthday, friend, baby, masculine, and even individual words. I also share a notebook with retired products going back to about 2015, and there's lots more that are older than that. Click Stamp Together if you're in Ventura County and come stamp at my house. You can also join my team if you're anywhere in the United States. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to my website so you don't miss a thing. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.